Welcome back to your aviation news recap video, and today is undoubtedly a day where focus sits on the Pratt Whitney engine crisis, with more and more airlines adjusting their schedules and noting that they will be impacted. Meanwhile, there's also developments at United Airlines that have announced a substantial expansion, but beginning with Air New Zealand, who have said that they plan to suspend specific international routes due to ongoing engine issues impacting its day-to-day operation. Air New Zealand has announced it'll pull the plug on service towards Hobart, Tasmania, located in none other than Australia, from April 5th, 2024. Away from service to Hobart, the airline will also suspend service towards Seoul in South Korea. These changes in its international routes are a forced reaction, it must be said, due to the ongoing Pratt & Whitney engine crisis that has really been the headline of the 2023 calendar year. The New Zealand flag carrier had previously announced its intent to slash upcoming flight schedules as they faced aircraft issues. Such issues were further identified in July 2023, a period when Pratt & Whitney, the engine manufacturer in question, said that a condition was impacting their own engines. The geared turbofan engine was slated to be hurt from this, which has been applied to aircraft right around the world, and notably in this case the A320neo family. At that point, Pratt & Whitney cited that 700 engines globally would be impacted across the next few years with adverse effects on airlines' fleets, but they would try to minimize this where possible but made no promises. The uncertainty surrounding when inspections would occur has meant that responding to this crisis has actually proven tricky for carriers. Air New Zealand has 17 A320/A321neo aircraft in its fleet of 108 planes, and per a statement from the airline, are normally used to fly missions such as Australia, the Pacific Islands, and New Zealand. The chief executive of Air New Zealand really went on to say that they've been able to organise most of their schedule, and this has been done by consolidating and moving flights and moving also aircraft to different routes. And while most customers will see an unchanged day-to-day operation, they will ultimately have to make changes to their international flight to really deal with this ongoing issue. Air New Zealand says that specifically Hobart and Seoul are being suspended to allow more resiliency. This will be noticeable when the Trent 1000 engines equipped on the 787 fleet do go in for maintenance. The airline flags the availability of spare engines from Rolls-Royce to cover these maintenance periods as another pretty big cause for concern. So ultimately, if you're just wanting to get a gauge for this entire part of the video, it really is just issues with engines. Air New Zealand says that the two routes weren't cut also for negative operational performance, so it wasn't like these two were chosen because they were the worst performing according to the airline. They say that they've actually been successful, but the main priority is to ensure that their entire service is as reliable as possible as they navigate these problems, so therefore slashing these routes is necessary. Air New Zealand plans for up to 4 aircraft from the Neo family powered by the GTF engines to be grounded at any point, and this is a process that will continue for potentially years, so it's something they'll have to get used to. There is another story on engine problems, but I want to break it up with some more exciting and positive news surrounding major US-based carrier United Airlines. United has announced plans to offer more flights to Florida than ever before for this upcoming winter season. The US-based airline is slated to grow its schedule by almost 20%. This will be achieved thanks to more flights to key markets. This includes your Miami, Tampa, and Orlando. United says it will achieve capacity growth thanks to just deploying larger planes in these markets. Chicago, O'Hare, Washington, Dulles, Houston, and Newark will all see several increases in flying to really meet the growing demand. United says that these airports will make company history as mainline aircraft will fly towards key destinations in Florida for the first time. As a result of the mainline fleet operating, the number of seats is also something that is slated to double. Interestingly for United, their booking and search data does show that Miami and Orlando are among the top 5 most searched domestic travel destinations. Does that really come as a shock leading into the winter period? Probably most would argue no. As a result, though, of this clear booking demand, United believes that increasing services will serve their customers better. United Airlines says that from November 28, it will deploy a 737-700 Key West International Airport. Non-stop routes include the aforementioned Newark, Washington, Dulles, Houston, and Chicago O'Hare. Meanwhile, for those in the northeast of Ohio, they'll have better access to Florida thanks to service out of Cleveland Hopkins. This will see an increase from daily to 2 daily. The airline will also reintroduce daily non-stop service from this location to Tampa with the 737-900ER, but really, a focus point is the delivery of the A321neo that only took place a couple of weeks ago, but is already showing how important it will be. United says this aircraft will be deployed to key routes in Florida from December, with your Fort Lauderdale, Orlando, and Fort Myers. United sees such an importance that also only a couple of weeks ago, they committed to more A321neos, with 60 additional units slated to arrive from 2028 onwards. If you're after more route news, well, United is also focusing on ski destinations as they look to expand their presence from the already existing 11 markets served from right across the country. It'll look to launch Newark services to the likes of Jackson Hole and many more. On to the final story of today, and that surrounds Indigo and, shock horror, the Pratt Whitney engine crisis. Indigo is now another airline that is announcing further problems with these engines that will hurt its fleet. Indigo says it believes 30 further units will be grounded in the fourth quarter alone. As a result of the additional groundings, this would bring the total close to 100 units that have been grounded at any point in time. We're hovering around the 80 to 90 number. Finding ways to mitigate the grounding effects is also becoming increasingly difficult for each carrier. Not everyone is in the same position as each other. While some airlines will look to leasing methods, others will struggle to source the aircraft they require, and as a result, are forced to suspend routes, alter their flight schedule, or worse. For Indigo, however, if we're taking a look at how they're mitigating some of these issues, they're looking to the leasing market, not just to lessen the blow, but to also boost flying if they can. The major Indian airline says it will increase overall measures, which means they will look to obtain aircraft that are in the second-hand market on a lease. They also plan on extending the lease of current planes in their operations to cover. The Pratt Whitney engine crisis will continue for years to come, so it's something these airlines do need to get used to and find ways to navigate. Think of it as how companies dealt with the global pandemic, and while maybe a terrible example, it highlighted how robust their operation must be and how they must be ready for anything. That's going to conclude today's aviation news recap. If you have any thoughts, you're more than welcome to let me know. Take care and please do be safe. I'll see you next time for more coverage on the industry.
And we'll fly.